Family, how we doing today? This is Chef Daniel Knight, aka Chef D Knight, with another episode of Funk Up the Flavor. Now, before I get into Funk Up the Flavor and what we're going to be making for you today to kind of help you out at home when you're in a crunch for dinner, I would like to ask, please go to eventbrite.com, search for Date Night Catering. That's Date Night, K-N-I-G-H-T Catering, and get your tickets. January 4th, 2020 at the Concordia Banquet Hall, Birmingham, Alabama, starting at 6 p.m. It is going to be a 9-course dinner extravaganza with food and entertainment. So please, you do not want to miss it. So now that that's out of the way, tonight or today or this morning, whenever you decide to watch this video, I am making a creamy roasted mushroom chicken soup. So I'm going to be right back and show you how to put all that together. So stay tuned. All right, family. Before I put this creamy roasted mushroom chicken soup together, let me show you what's all in this soup. Before you make this soup, I highly recommend that you get all of your ingredients out and together. It will save you time. So, one of the 2 stars of the dish. Got about 1.5 pounds of fresh chopped baby bell mushrooms. Right here, 8 ounces of pre-cooked grilled chicken. Listen, you can find this in any supermarket. There's absolutely nothing wrong with using a pre-grilled chicken. This will actually just help you do the dish a little quicker. Now, if you want to grill your own chicken, by all means, but I use this tonight just to show you guys how quick and simple this dish is, and also how you can add a lot of flavor to it and really funk it up. Now, here's another one of the stars of the dish. This is the fresh herbs here. So I've got oregano, thyme, sage, and rosemary. About 6 tablespoons of fresh chopped herbs. This is about 3/4 cups of fresh chopped celery. About 1 cup of fresh chopped bell pepper. A cup of fresh chopped carrots. 1 diced sweet yellow onion. About 4 tablespoons of house seasoning. Now remember, your house seasoning is whatever you like. In here I've got salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, dried parsley, some granulated garlic as well. Yes, I love garlic. All right, so here is 3 chopped green onions. Yes, 2 different kinds of onions, 2 different flavors. So here's 6 cloves of garlic, 3 tablespoons of flour, and some fresh chopped parsley. I keep this in the fridge at all times. All right, so I've got my pot going right here. The heat is already on. We're actually gonna turn this heat up a little bit. I've actually had that on for a little while now, so let's go ahead and crank that heat up. Now to the pot, I'm gonna add about 4 tablespoons, maybe 6 tablespoons of olive oil. There we go. And to the, oh, you can see it's already starting to bubble. We got some action going. So to this pot, I am going to add the mushrooms. Now, we're going to cook the mushrooms first because we really want these guys to get toasted and roasted. All right, so I'm going to let these go for about maybe 20 minutes because we really want these to get like nice and charred and just all brown and good. So we're going to let these go for about 20 to 25 minutes until they completely cook down. And then to that, we're going to add our vegetables. Once that's cooked down, and the chicken is actually going to be one of the last things we add. All right, family, here's the mushrooms. They've been going for about maybe 5 minutes now. Now, while you were away to this, I added my house seasoning. I also added my fresh herb mix to that as well. And this dish is going to require chicken broth. But I'm not a big chicken broth fan. I like to use Tone's chicken base. All right, so why do I like to use chicken base? I like to use chicken base because it gives me all the flavor. And I use chicken base a lot because I use chicken broth a lot. So it keeps me from having to make multiple trips to the store. So I just use a chicken base and add a little water to that, and then I've got my broth. So we're going to continue to let these mushrooms cook down about another 15 minutes or so. And then to that, we're going to add the flour, which will help thicken it. And then we're going to add, so we've got the flour here, then we're going to add the garlic, the green onion, bell pepper, onions, carrots, celery, and green bell pepper. Now listen, once we add all of the vegetables, the chicken is going to be the last thing we add because it's already cooked. And then once I add the chicken, I'm going to add the heavy whipping cream and bring this dish all together for you. So stay tuned. Welcome back, family. So as you can see, it's probably been about 20 minutes here, and the mushrooms have gotten a really nice crusting on them. All right, so what I'm about to add to this, gonna add the fresh chopped garlic. It's about 6 cloves of garlic in there. Gonna add the green onion. Basically, you're gonna add all your vegetables at this point. We're gonna add everything to this except for the flour. The flour is gonna be the last thing we add. Reason is we want these vegetables to kind of cook just a little. Not enough to cook and become soft. We still want a little crunch to this because it's a fresh soup, but just enough to kind of wake these guys up. All right, so I'm gonna let this go for about maybe, I'd say about 6 minutes or so. And then to this, I'm gonna add the flour. And then to that, I am going to add about 4 cups of water and then about half a pint of heavy whipping cream. All right, family, it's been about 6 minutes on the fresh vegetables cooking up with the mushrooms. So now to this mix, I'm gonna add about 3 to 4 tablespoons of flour. All right. So once I add the flour, we're gonna stir this around so this flour can cook through. Nothing worse than tasting raw flour in the dish. Well, I mean there is, but I don't want to taste raw flour in my soup. So we're gonna let that cook for about maybe 2 to 3 minutes. It's gonna soak up all those juices. And this is gonna start to get real dry and clumpy, which is exactly what you want. And then once that's cooking about 2 to 3 minutes, I'm gonna add about 3 cups of water and then about half a pint of heavy whipping cream. So I've added the water. That's about 3 cups of water in there. As you can see, it's starting to look like a soup. Oh man, if you could only smell this, wow. So to this, we're gonna add the heavy whipping. So here's the heavy whipping cream. We're gonna go about half a pint, which is about 4 cups of heavy whipping cream. So equal parts water and equal parts heavy whipping cream. This is also going to give it that creaminess that we were looking for as well too. As you can see, kind of loosened it up a lot. All right, so we're gonna let this go, I would say for about maybe 10 minutes or so, just so the flavors can get to know each other and this can thicken back up because it's a little loose for me right now. I really want a thicker soup. And once this is going for about 10 minutes, at the very end, I'm gonna add the, actually as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and add the chicken. We're gonna let the pre-cooked chicken go ahead and start cooking in that too. So we're gonna let this go for about 10 minutes and then I'll come back and I'll serve this up and let you guys know how it tastes. Welcome back, family. So I've plated the soup. So it's time to eat it. All right, so here we go. Here's the creamy roasted mushroom soup. So I just topped it with a little fresh parsley and a little Parmesan cheese. And I've got my sourdough roll here. So here we go. I've never made this. This is the first time. So every time, I want to let y'all know too, every time that I do a Funk Up the Flavor episode, it is a recipe that I've never made. So I don't want you guys to think that, you know, I'm going in the kitchen and I'm making these things over and over to get them right. No, I'm literally making them for the first time for you. And a couple reasons for that. Number one, I want to show you how easy it is to really funk up the flavor with food that you're already familiar with. And two, just to show you that cooking is really an easy thing. It just takes some, the 3 things that my grandmother taught me when I was learning how to cook at 7 years old. Keep the heat low, not too high. Everything needs seasoning and flavor. And third, put some heart, put your heart into it, or put a little love into it. All right, so let's taste this soup and see what we're working with here. Listen. Oh man. You can taste the freshness of every vegetable in there. The creaminess with the heavy whipping cream. The flour just kind of thickened it up. the chicken broth, the chicken itself, the parsley, the parmesan, the rosemary, oregano, thyme, the sage. You can taste it all. So listen, family, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comment section below. I am here for you. And once again, thank you for choosing to watch another episode of Funk Up the Flavor with Chef D Night. And I look forward to seeing you January 4th now at the Concordia Banquet Hall. Don't forget, eventbrite.com, search for Date Night Catering. And I'm going to leave you with this last little bit of information. Believe in the power of I am. Whatever you tell yourself, that is exactly what you are. So if you want to be awesome, tell yourself that you're awesome. If you want to be great, tell yourself that you're great. Whatever comes after I am, that is exactly what you are. So family, I love you and thank you so much for tuning in. You guys have a great night, great morning, or great day.